What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to DSM Pre-Game Live, streaming to you exclusively on DSM-Media's Twitter and YouTube channel. Guys, do yourself a favor, do us a favor, as always, to kick off the show. Make sure to follow on all social media platforms. Check out the link tree in our bio on Twitter. It will take you directly to the DSM-Media YouTube channels. Make sure to check all of them out, but specifically the Philadelphia page tonight. Make sure to smash that subscribe button, like the video, share it with your friends, family, whoever else is a Sixers fan in the surrounding area. Sixers Bucks kicking off the season at the Wells Fargo Center in just over an hour. We're going to get into our keys to victory, our standout stars, our best bets for you guys, game predictions, and much, much more throughout the course of this live stream. I'm one half of your host, Dylan Davis. To my right, my faithful co-host, Scotty. My man, no Joel Embiid, no Paul George. It's not okay, but it is okay because the Sixers are indeed back. Game 1 of 82. Excited for another year of pregame shows with you, man. This is besides the Eagles. This is the pregame show. Baseball. There's too much. There's
too many. There's too many damn games.
Postseason is not going to happen. The Sixers, since we started it about 2 years back, and the Eagles are the DSM pregame live rituals that we like to get into and share with you guys. So make sure to drop your score predictions, drop your best bets, whatever you got for us tonight, guys. Make sure to tap in. My man, what's going on?
Not much, man. I'm super excited. Because some of the stuff, how I was feeling this morning, it did take a little bit of the joy out of it. But we got all that out this morning. We talked that out. Yeah. We hashed it out. And I'm feeling a lot better now. Now Sixers basketball is just back. It doesn't matter who's playing. I'm happy that the first game's here. And, I'm happy to see another star tonight, right? Like 2 of the stars are out. We still got Maxey in there holding us down with the others, the other company, right? So I'm still excited, man. Giannis is beat up coming into this one. No Middleton on their side. Doc Rivers is their head coach. You have a chance. Let's talk it out tonight, guys. But happy to be here for the first one of the season, man.
Yes,
I'm feeling actually relatively good. And I thought the way you led in there was perfect. You said it perfectly, man.
Yeah, because I think we get to look at it now on the pregame show through a micro lens, right? When we're trying to kick off the season and we're looking at season projections, and the news drops yesterday morning that Joel not only will not suit up for tonight, on top of Paul George already being injured and out in his short Sixers stint, it's the whole week. So when you're trying to give, your season predictions and get fired up and talk about this team, they're going to be a top 3 seed. It's very difficult to do when you don't know how much their stars are going to play. What we do know is through this small lens, we have a task at hand in just over an hour, and that is taking on an Eastern Conference opponent in the Milwaukee Bucks. Like you said, also missing one of their top 3 in Chris Middleton. Giannis is a game time decision. He is probably going to 99% of the pretty positive play, but I guess we'll find out over the course of the show. But nonetheless, with no Joel and no Paul George, I think it's a good way to talk about this game and get into our first couple keys to victory here. Is something you and I discussed on the morning show this morning about this team, about this game. And that's just looking at the others, like you talked about, and how even without Joel and even without PG, this is not the finished product. This is not the product you want to or are going to see on a floor for the Sixers if they want to chase a championship this year. But it is a group that can show you how they can help out within the margins, how they can hold down the fort while these two get the rest that they're so desperately going to need over the course of an 82-game season. And I think that starts tonight with a team like Milwaukee that brings in size at the 4 and 5 position, specifically in their starting lineup. But outside of that, they're a smaller unit. You have a Damian Lillard standing at 6'2". You have a Taurean Prince at 6'5". You have a Gary Trent Jr., who I believe is 6'4", 6'5". You have a bunch of role players. You have a Bobby Portis, who's their backup big man. He's standing at 6'10". We know what that's like to have a 6'10" power forward kind of playing backup center, right? So it's not like the Bucks have this great size advantage tonight over the Sixers, like we've seen life within the past without Joel Embiid. So my first kind of key to throw to you, man, how they can show me they're different. Andre Drummond, Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon, Caleb Martin, KJ Martin having a larger role tonight. Get scrappy. Control the glass, attack the glass, get after loose balls, limit possessions for Milwaukee, get out in transition. You talked about that before. Kelly Oubre's talked about it. It's not that life's better with Joel, but you can do things a little differently with Joel. Create transition opportunities, play high pace, play high speed. And I think that's a way you can do that tonight if you control the glass and get scrappy. It's been one of the Sixers' biggest issues really throughout Embiid's tenure. When he's off the floor, even when he's on the floor at times, they can't rebound. They get crushed. Look at what the Knicks did to us in the postseason last year. That's a way this other group can show me they are a little different tonight is by group rebounding, controlling the glass, controlling the paint, and getting out in transition. So my first key, man, just be tougher, be scrappy, be gritty, and get after loose balls and loose rebounds.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. And you mentioned like the opportunity this is not only for guys like Drummond, but a guy like KJ Martin who's going to get the start tonight, a guy that has shown in the past that he can rebound, he can get up there even at 6'6", 6'7". He has some of the best bounce on the team, right? Some of the best bounce in the NBA, quite honestly. So use that athleticism, use that toughness you got from your father, right, Kenyon Martin, and go out there and play scrappy tonight. Yeah. Play physical against a Giannis guy that's going to drop his shoulder and he's going to try to go through you tonight. So you got to be ready for it. You knew it won't be the last time I throw that out there.
Yeah, Scotty's already preparing himself for the lack of offensive foul calls on Giannis.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm getting ready for it. It won't be the last time you hear about it. But to that point, be ready for it as a player as well. The players need to be ready for that. And one of my keys of victory goes right along with what you said, man. Playing with pace. In order to play with pace, you got to hit the boards. You got to grab the rebounds, get it out quick. You can use Maxey, Oubre, let them use their athleticism. Caleb Martin, get out on the break and run Bobby Portis, run Brook Lopez off the floor. This is the type of stuff that we need to see them do. And it's the type of stuff we're going to have to see them do throughout the time where Embiid isn't there, because Drummond, while he's going to be a better backup than what we've had, he can't play the entire game. We know that, right? So we're going to have to find some other avenues.
Newsflash, Andre Drummond will not play 48 minutes tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, he's not going to play 48. This is a huge opportunity for KJ Martin, man. He can really show his value to this team.
And getting the starting nod tonight from Nick Nurse is something we'll get into in a second. But I do agree with you, man. If you get them out in transition and if you group rebound, you're going to have a very good chance tonight. Maxey and Giannis for 30+, Andre 14+ boards, Eric Gordon with 3+ threes at almost plus 2,000. Yes or no? I mean, they always look. Yes, I mean, yes. It's just you need a couple things. Drummond, I think his line starts at like 11.5, 12.5. Yeah, so 14. Numbers. I know it sounds crazy. It's really not that far out of expectation for Andre Drummond, especially if if we're going to be successful in that department, like we had talked about. Gordon 3+ threes. I think his line's at 2.5, or is his line at 1.5 or 2.5? I think it's 2.5.
2.5, but it's plus money. So
plus money. So that hits your 3 mark. I think that's right on cue. I think he's going to have to shoot at least 4 or 5 threes tonight if the Sixers want to have some success and space the floor. Maxey and Giannis. I mean, I think that's I don't want to call it easy, but I think that's like the most likely of the two stars showing up.
Yeah, like it makes the most sense. Like, I agree.
The only thing, and Phil knows this as a Sixers fan, the only thing that pains you is like if everything else is hit, but you need like 4 points from Giannis and the Sixers are winning by 2 late in the game, it's like
it's going to hurt.
2,000 or Sixers get a win. Like, it's like, so always rooting for the player
or rooting
for some prop from the other team sucks, but more than likely, no Joel, you would think Antetokounmpo goes for tonight. But you do never know. But that is definitely an interesting parlay. Plus 2,000s are always interesting, man. But so the starting lineup: KJ Martin, Kelly Oubre Jr., Eric Gordon, Tyrese Maxey, Andre Drummond. Something you and I discussed this morning. We got a couple comments from different people. It's kind of what I expected. The only difference is Whit Martin. And we preferred Caleb. Not going to be surprised when he plays KJ like he's done in the preseason. And that's what he's going for tonight. He also clarified this is not a demotion or any sense of negative when it comes to Caleb Martin. He reiterated that Caleb Martin is one of their 5 best players on this team. And when you're talking without Joel and PG 100%. Tonight, he's even higher on that bar. So while he's not starting,
he
he's going to be playing starter minutes. He'll be finishing the game, and he'll be playing, I would assume, around what, Scotty, 28 plus minutes tonight, if not more, if not 30 plus for the Sixers.
I mean, yeah, it depends. It depends, how deep
I know
he
it's
goes
night
into
one,
this
but
rotation.
yeah.
I don't know. How do you think he expands the rotation with no PG? Like, obviously it expands, but do you think the number of players who plays expands too?
Man, I don't know, because the two that we're missing aren't in our. I don't want to. You don't want to lose anybody to an injury, but it's not playing in our favor. And what I mean by that is we're hit where we're the thinnest. This is not a guard situation.
Yeah.
If one or two of the guards were down, you have Maxey, Lowry, McCain, Reggie Jackson, Eric Gordon. You have forwards that can also handle the ball if need be, right?
Yeah.
You're not weak there. You're thin at a 6'8", 6'9" forward spot, and your center to where the backup 7-footer has to start. Now you have a Yabusele, you have KJ Martin and Caleb Martin having to play the 4 for you. You're going small ball 5. So that's the possibility. No, there's no more injuries, bro. Smoke a blunt. Calm down. It's okay.
Right. Yeah, smoke some brief, man. No, where did he get more injuries? No, he's just not.
He probably thought what I was saying was there was more. Yeah, no.
Yeah, Caleb Martin's
saying they were hit where they're
starting.
finished.
KJ Martin's starting.
Yeah.
But no, I tend to agree. I didn't really care whether or not Caleb Martin started. I think like Nick Nurse said, he's one of the 5 best players on the team. He's going to get minutes. I think they did this, more because you don't have Paul George in the starting lineup, so you do kind of need that to spread that depth out a little bit more at that position specifically. So maybe, Caleb Martin isn't playing much 4 tonight. Maybe he's playing mostly 3 whenever Oubre steps off the floor. We'll see. Maybe maybe he comes on the floor. I'm sure he's going to spend some time on the floor with Oubre. But I'm just curious, how much time he spends at small forward versus power forward tonight versus when Joel obviously returns, when PG returns. But I am interested to see the backup center situation. Or obviously we know Drummond's the backup center, but like the backup for Drummond, like it feels like it has to be Yabusele based on the starting lineup. It has to.
It not only does it, not only with the starting lineup or not if Caleb Martin, it doesn't
KJ
matter.
Martin
I mean,
center,
Dem Bona is not. It's
not absolutely not.
Tonight. There's just no way.
Paul Reed was undisciplined.
Right. And I mean, when you get down to it, how big's Yabusele? 6'9", 6'10",
6'9", 6'10".
Right. I think Dem Bona is only like 6'10" as well. So there's not too much difference there. Yabusele is obviously thicker. Bona's a little bit more athletic and longer, but he's not
6'8".
6'8",
actually.
So,
yeah.
Paul George
65. He's a big boy though. He could match up with Bobby Portis, I think. I would like to see it at least. I would like to see it.
No, I absolutely think so.
Bobby Portis is a guy that usually torments us, I feel like.
To get to kind of my second key, and we talked about this morning as well, talking about those matchups, we're sitting here, we're kind of worried, right? We're sitting back. We're trying to put the pieces together of how do we react? How do we respond to this?
Yeah.
I don't want the Bucks. I don't want Doc Rivers controlling this chess match tonight. I want Nick Nurse controlling this chess match tonight. So we're sitting here, oh man, no Joel. Now Andre has to play. They have 2 7-footers in the starting lineup. How do we combat that? When they go small or when they go to Bobby, how do we combat that? What? No. Let's get our best 5 out there. Let's get a lineup that Nick wants to get out there and make them match us. Dictate some part of this game, of this chess match, and see if you can exploit them. So what I mean by that is we're so worried about who's playing backup 5. And you can get killed with that with a team that's got a lot of size. When you go back to the Knicks of the postseason last year, Isaiah Hartenstein, when Mitch was healthy, Precious Achua, even their guards, like they're long, right? They're big. They can punish you 24/7 for 48 minutes. The Bucks, we already laid it out. They can't do that. Giannis isn't playing 48 minutes. Brook Lopez isn't playing 48 minutes. They're right down there with you outside of those 2 guys. We have a 7-footer. They have 2. So find a way to dictate the matchup tonight, whether that is a mixture of the Martins and Kelly and Maxey and Loud, whatever it is. get out in space, get out and run, and just make them come to you. That's something that I'm interested to see Nick Nurse do. He has to figure out what lineups work for him with life without Joel and or Paul George. Tonight, you already get a very quick dose of that. He's got to put the pieces together quickly. Make Milwaukee play your style, at least for a little bit, because we're so worried. Oh, how are we going to match up with this? Make them worried. Make them concerned. Oh, we have to respond to this. Their speed is too much right now. And then you start to dictate how the game starts to run.
Yeah, and I think a big thing tonight to go along with what you're saying, which is impose your identity onto them. Yeah. Don't let them impose theirs onto you. And along with that, it's something I've talked about with the Bucks all offseason. And, you know, it's really the big point for me why I just don't really believe in them long term and towards winning a championship. And I think it's the big difference between the championship team that they won with and the one that they have now, and it's Drew Holiday versus Dame Lillard. And it's not to say that Drew Holiday throughout his career has been like this better player than Dame Lillard. But if Dame isn't giving you 40, what is he doing on the defensive end to counteract that? And if I'm the Sixers, I'm putting him in the mix all night. Whoever he's guarding needs to attack him all night. You need to get switches onto Maxey. Let Maxey attack him all night. If they even think about putting him on an Oubre or a Caleb Martin, you need to attack him all night. You need to abuse him, get him in foul trouble, and force him to take him off the court, quite honestly, because it can happen. He is that bad defensively. I'm interested to see the type of mentality he's working with this season, because he's a smaller guard, and obviously Maxey is too. But there is a will and a passion that you can put towards playing defense, and I think Maxey is a guy that does that. He's also put on some muscle, so I don't worry about him as much on that end. Just to be clear here, what I'm pointing out about Damian Lillard, I think you need to put him in the mixer tonight. Get him involved in screen roles and make him guard.
It's funny, right? Because especially in the NBA, it all comes down to players. Coaching can only do so much 95% of the time. And I think if this Sixers team is fully healthy, and at some point they will be, you can rely on your talent. When you have Joel Embiid and Paul George to this mix, you can just rely. I'll take man on man and let's get to it. In a game like tonight, the first 2-3 things we're talking about here, a lot of it has to do with coaching and and game plan and strategy and matchups and figuring out a way to control it. I think that's what you're talking about. Yes, the players have to execute. They're the ones on the floor. They have to figure it out. Dude, this kid. You can't. My point is, this is a big Nick Nurse game. Because
let me put it this way. We watched Allen Iverson go and take on Kobe and the Lakers and Shaq, right? He was able to win one game. He was able to put on for one game and take the Sixers and beat the Lakers in LA, right? Then they lost. Yeah, they did. This doesn't mean they would win against the Bucks in a 7-game series without these two guys. No. But on one given night, you can beat these guys with effort, with them being a little rusty coming into their first game of the season. Giannis a little banged up in his right knee. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can go out here and win this game, Marcia. So have a little bit more hope and optimism, my man.
And I would just think the first thing we talked about, man, is that this team is just on paper they're different. So when we sit here and say the same old stuff, like this is not the same supporting cast that Joel Embiid has missed time with in the past. Yes, if we walked into this game with Tobias Harris and Furkan Korkmaz and Paul Reed and DeAnthony Melton, no, I would not be talking any sense of the way confident in a Sixers matchup tonight.
Yeah,
it's not the case. You still have a star in Tyrese Maxey who can average 30 points. You added Caleb Martin. You added Andre Drummond. You added Eric Gordon. You added Reggie Jackson. You have a Jared McCain. Like you had, you're helping my point here. You have so much. You just have more NBA talent. And when I beg the question, like we sit here when we're missing our stars. Yes, big picture, that's not okay. Big picture, you're not going to get to where we want to get to missing those guys. But I'm talking in the moment, micro, one game at a time. I'll beg the question, look at other NBA teams across the league tonight. Look at I'm trying to find just like a reasonable team. I didn't want to pick like one of the awful teams. But look at like the Memphis Grizzlies. All right. Look at the Houston Rockets. Look at just look at some of the other teams, man. Are they as talented as even this Sixers team is tonight? No. And can they go win a game? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's a
they
good way to
can.
put it. It's a good way to put it. I think when you look at this roster, man, we've talked about it all off season. It's exactly what Martian's saying. Yeah. We have fell into the hype all summer. So why stop now? Let's ride it out, man. And watch it actually play out before our eyes.
What I was trying to say, I got scrambled. What I was trying to say is, do you remember when Embiid went down last year and we lost like 3 in a row or 2 back-to-back to like Brooklyn and someone else? And people were making it's one of the only times you and I were against them, and other people were making excuses. Well, what do you expect? They're missing Embiid and Maxey, or Embiid and Tobias, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Look at who they were playing. So that's my point. If there are teams out in the league that are going to win games over an 82 course season, and they have a bunch of slop put together, but we have Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre and Caleb Martin and Andre, like there's NBA talent on the Sixers team, even without Joel and Paul George tonight. They can find a way to win a game. That's my point. Like, people make excuses. It's like, no, it's an excuse, obviously.
Yeah,
but like,
they should just bow down and let the Bucks win tonight. Right. And I'm not talking to Martian here, by any means.
No,
it's not
I'm saying
to
the general public. Like,
just generally.
It's an explanation. If they lose to the Bucks tonight, they're not favored. The Bucks should win. It's an explanation as to why they lost the game. It's not an excuse as to why the Sixers are going to get run out of the gym tonight.
Right. And look like a team that doesn't know how to play basketball. Yeah, that's the exact point. And when you look at the spread, what do the books tell you? I know the books aren't always right? And the Bucks, they could be hot tonight, come out like the Celtics for all we know. I don't know. Maybe. I doubt it. I don't think they can shoot like that.
We're going to get into bets. I haven't laid it. It's really making me want to lay the Sixers plus like 4 or 5, because you are so spot on, man. I tend not to, like, I'm not some line movement reader. I don't know when the books are, I get tricked all the time. Okay. And maybe we're overthinking this, but if there was a time that a book was trying to get you to go one way, because what is the public going to see? They're going to see no Paul George. They're going to see no Embiid, and they're going to go, that's
Milwaukee.
it for the Bucks. This is a gift. Like we were talking about earlier. It's a gift. Yeah. Not so quick. Not because
never again.
There is a method. There is a reason it is set that low. In reality, yes, Giannis and Dame versus just Maxey and a new piece Sixers team should probably be around 6 to 6.5 point favorites. The fact that it's 3.5 to 4 sways me back in the Sixers' direction.
Yeah, I tend to agree, and I think that's where. If you were to ask for my prediction tonight, I don't know that I could give you like a score. I really don't know what type of game this is going to be. I don't think it's going to be like Boston 130 last night. I don't think so, right? I think these are going to be two defensive minded-ish teams. I think they're going to have to kind of grind this out. I think you could see some rustiness. You look at Giannis, he's not 100%. I know they say he was a game time decision. He was probable. Right, he probably will play, but still, the fact that he was a game time decision tells you he's not exactly where he needs to be. But if I had to give you a prediction, I would say the Sixers cover the plus 4.5. That's just where I'm at.
Let me throw this to you, okay?
Yeah.
If you want to know just exactly what would be a good outcome from the books, this is per MGM right now with the updated lines.
Yeah.
76. This is on the spread. 76% of bets and 79% of the handle are on Bucks -4. 70% of the bets and 88% of the handle are on Bucks money line. Only 12% handle is on Sixers money line. That would be a very good outcome for the Bucks.
Yeah.
Trinidad, I hope you take them, man. You're feeding exactly into what they want you to do. Oh, it's a gift. Promise it's not.
Yeah.
Promise you. Save your money. But
who do you take last night? If you answer that honestly, if you took the Celtics, then fine.
And by the way, if you took the Celtics, how are you a Knicks fan? Because I've never once placed a bet on the opposing team that one of my teams is playing. Never.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care how beat up I am. I don't care how good a line looks. I've never once sat down and went, you know what? I'm going to take the Bucks tonight.
All is fair because I hammered the Celtics -6.5. I hammered it. So all is fair. Go ahead. Hammer that Bucks line, my man. At the end of the day, it's not necessarily that I'm giving that out as like a best bet of mine.
No,
I just think the Sixers cover the spread tonight. That's my best prediction.
From a face value, it's unlikely that in reality, the Sixers, without their two biggest stars and Giannis and Dame playing, the Sixers should not win the game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that line does not make sense. When 88% of the money line handle is on the Bucks, when 79% of the spread handle is on the Bucks, it would be a very good outcome for Vegas if the Sixers win and cover. Who's normally right?
Okay. So all right, he's being non-biased right now. He's letting us know
that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to happen. The books do lose from time to time. What I'm saying is that line's fishy.
And I took T-Wolves last night, so I lost there. So you got me there at the same time, man. No, let's
I know we're going to get back to this game in a second. I do have like a bet. I haven't laid it for any action tonight, but I laid it in the Lakers T-Wolves last night. It is fun to root for, but it is nerve-wracking as fuck. And all the lines are pretty even. It's 2 +3s made in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
That's the bet. And, dude, it's exhilarating.
You're either going to get 0 or you're going to get 2 to 3.
Yeah. Yeah. It luckily hit for me with like 38 seconds to spare, and they jacked like 4 or 5 threes in that time. Lakers, T-Wolves.
Wow, in that game too.
Yeah, they shot bad from 3. Yeah. The Lakers made their first 3 of the game yesterday, so it hit and it paid immediately. So it's like it's fun and it's quick action. It's just you can lose money in the blink of a fucking eye
very quickly as well. But if you're trying to build, that's not a bad way to like build. Yeah. You know, if you want to start out.
And every line is like -105 to -120. So it's like nothing.
You can probably pick it by quarter too. It's probably not just the first.
Might be able to.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's fun nonetheless. But back to this game, man. Obviously, we got about 45 minutes until tip tonight. Other keys. What are you looking at? Matchups. I know you talked about trying to exploit Dame on the defensive side of things. Anything else you're looking for tonight in terms of that?
I just would love to see the other guys tonight come out, show some initiative, be aggressive. I think that's something else in the past, right? Just pass it to Maxey. Like he's the guy. Like, no, it doesn't have to be that tonight. Take the initiative. Guys like Oubre. Do we want you out here jacking? No. But do we want you out here being assertive, driving the lane, get into the free throw line? Absolutely. Goes for Caleb Martin as well. And to guys like Eric Gordon, right, standing at the 3-point line. Let it fly tonight. You have the green light all night because Joel Embiid is not here. Paul George is not here. They are not taking shots from anyone. You have the green light tonight. And that goes for all of those guys. If you got to look, Reggie Jackson, Kyle Lowry, all down the line, you have to take it. You can't be gun shy tonight of all nights, right? And I think they will. I think they'll come out. I think they'll be confident. And I do think they'll be ready to let it fly. Whether it goes in or not, we're going to find out. Like I said, it could be a rusty game. It could be. I do have a feeling Maxey's going to come out. Hey, okay. I think he's going to come out on fire. Maxey specifically, but yeah.
That's kind of my last thing, man, that I'm looking for offensively is can you win a 3-point battle tonight? In this day and age of the NBA, and I know the Celtics do it better than anyone, so I'm setting a high bar, but what I'm saying, you watched that game last night. It was a rout. And the Knicks at one point were shooting like 62% from the floor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
High volume and a lot of makes from 3-point land. You look at this Bucks team. Yes, their star player does not. You want their star player out there. They have Dame, who's probably going to attempt 7 to 10 of those things. They have a center in Brook Lopez who can spread the floor and shoots a bunch against us. They have a guy in Bobby Portis who can stretch the floor. They brought in Gary Trent Jr. who can stretch the floor. Taurean Prince can stretch the floor. Pat Connaughton likes to shoot from deep. That's where they're going to go. Normally, when you have Joel, well, you let Joel go to work. Tonight, without him, you have to produce offense beyond the arc, win the three-point battle. I'm not saying to just chuck if you guys start 1 for 12 from 3, okay? You're going to have to figure out another avenue of offense and strap down on defense. But I want high volume, and I think you hit the nail right on the head with some of these guys. You cannot be shy. Eric Gordon, if that thing's open from 35, you shoot it from 35 because you can make it. Reggie Jackson pulling up off the dribble at the top of the key. Kyle Lowry getting a kick-out pass to the corner at the top of the key. Maxey, shoot 11 of those things tonight, brother. Like, let it fly tonight and win the three-point battle. And
don't tire your
right.
Oh, right. We're going to need him all game. Don't tire yourself out early driving all up in the lane. It's not to say to just settle. Like you said, don't settle. But if it's open, let it fly.
Correct.
These are the nights where you do have to. We talk about like all the little things that they have to do, the coaching etiquette, right, that we have to put out there for them to win this type of game. Just 1 out of 82, right, with these other guys, if you want to call them that. You're going to have to hit, 20-plus threes. Yes. You're going to have to be having
and
a good
I think
night
Jose brings up a good point in to dictate the pace, right, and exploit the Milwaukee that way. But B, that's where I'm talking with the 3-point line. And no, I'm not talking about if you have a 2-on-1 to settle for an uncontested.
You're not Steph Curry.
No, you drive the bet. Yeah, exactly. But transition threes are a lifestyle.
How does Maxey? Go ahead. Yeah.
If you get out on a 3-on-2 and you kick, bang, wide open wing 3, let it fly. And I think that's a way you can exploit it as well, man. So 1000% control the glass. That's the first step to Jose's point. You want to get out and run, turnovers and loose balls and controlling the glass. That's how you get out in the transition. That's step 1. Win the 3-point, win the competition from the 3-point line and exploit Damian Lillard, man, on the defensive side. You're right. I'll be honest, like Milwaukee's not going to give you that matchup. There's no way in hell
no way
that Gary Trent Jr. isn't the mark on Tyrese Maxey.
They're going to put Dame on probably Eric Gordon.
Him or KJ? Well, KJ's probably too big for him,
He's going to take him down to the box and just grab boards over him. But I think Eric Gordon is the guy that will spot up, right? He's not going to do a ton of dribbling and attacking, but just be active, make him work, move around, make yourself, put yourself in space is what I'm trying to say. You just got to make them work. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. You make them work.
That's true, and this is also in our advantage, man.
Offensive end.
It's also a way that he could just say, Dame, you got Tyrese tonight. All right, thanks, Glenn.
That is so true. It is Doc Rivers.
It really is, man.
It is Doc Rivers. It is Doc Rivers.
I wonder what kind of reception he's getting at the center right now, and in a few moments when they take the floor. I know obviously he's been back here since, but it'll be interesting to see. Has he? It's funny though, man. Has he been back here since?
Like last season?
Well, like it was last season, but like didn't he take over the Bucks job like late as hell?
Oh.
So I don't he probably did. I'm just saying they might have played their games in Philly before that point of the year. I don't know. So it would be pretty funny if it was Doc's return. However, I do feel like we would have seen a bunch of posts on social media today
about it
targeting the fact that it's his first time back in Philly. So I'll assume he played in the second half against us, man. But I think that's it for keys. Unless you got anything else, keys or matchup that you want to get into.
We can sit here and go through all the intangibles in the world, all the try-hard stuff that the Sixers have to do tonight to win this game. It's just that they're going to have to give their all. They're going to have to play borderline. I don't want to say perfect because it's the first game of the season.
Right.
But they're going to have to be perfect in the sense of following direction, following the coaching, and going with the game plan.
No, I agree, man. So shall we get into some best bets? I know Phil kicked it off with a little parlay, obviously. I'm going to go over a couple different things here, man. Obviously, like with you, I have not put it in yet. I have about 30 minutes to decide. But I am leaning Sixers spread. I would probably alt it to like 5 and just buy the extra point and a half at this point. But I do. Not only is the line fishy, I trust the depth that Daryl Morey has acquired this offseason. And I think at home in the opener, I think they'll show enough against the Chris Middleton-less Milwaukee Bucks led by Doc Rivers that they'll find a way to stay in this game. I think they're just talented enough to do that. So I think Sixers spread is one route to go. How do you feel about team total? It's another route that I'm kind of like very iffy on. It's right around, I think you can get like over 108.5 at like minus 130. I think it's 109.5 at minus 115. So it's like either or, basically 108 to 110, 111 for the Sixers. I don't know. Like it is at the same, with all the acquisitions we brought in that we can love, but it is life without Joel and Paul George. So where are you manufacturing all these points from? That's the thing.
That one's tough because in my mind, it feels like a, like a 105-ish, 110-ish type of game. Like I don't think these teams are getting into the 120s, 115s. Right. So you're going to be, hovering really close to that line. But it's going to be that way either way, obviously, with the spread as well. So I lean the spread, the 4.5 or the 5 if you want to eat the half a point. I think, just being safer. Yeah, I would probably go ahead and eat the half a point. But yeah, I actually did take the Sixers plus 4.5. Once again, not necessarily a best bet. It's just more or less reading the lines, seeing what I'm looking at, and then also some Sixers bias, if I'm being completely honest.
Shall we get into the ladder, man? Because right now the line has moved even more friendly and juicier in our direction. We got a little Caleb Martin points ladder for you guys that we're laying tonight. He's not starting. We know that. He is most likely, and Nick Nurse hinted at it, going to play starter minutes. They're going to need Caleb Martin to be active tonight, especially when you're missing your two stars. And outside of Tyrese Maxey and Kelly Oubre Jr., you just don't have a lot of guys that are going to be able to get their own, right? Eric Gordon is going to be a spot up 3-point shooter. Kyle Lowry's not going to be hunting shots. Drummond's not going to be working from the low post over and over again, right? Yabusele and McCain are new on the scene if they play a lot. So I'm looking at a guy like Caleb Martin. For 9+ points, he's minus 125. For 10+ points, it's plus 115. And for 12+ points from Caleb Martin, it is now plus 215. Ladder climb. What do we mean by a ladder is set yourself a little budget, whatever you want to do. If you want to throw $25, $30 on the 9, that's where you start. And then as the juice climbs, put a little bit less money. So if you want to throw 25, 30, $50 on the 9+, bang, that's your actual kind of play, right? Then you get the 10+, maybe if you threw 30 on the first one, you throw 15 to 20 on that. Then you get to the 12+ if you want to throw 10 on that, whatever you want to do. But that's what a ladder consists of, lowering the money the higher you go. And I think Caleb Martin, to put it frank, man, if we like the spread, you're going to need him to score a little bit. Do I think we talked about this morning, is Caleb Martin going for 20 tonight? No, I would say the odds are low on that.
Right.
Caleb Martin for 9 to 12 points. To be honest, I don't know if you're in the ball game if he's not scoring 9 points.
And I'll say this, even if you're not in the ball game, these guys need to play together anyways. So these guys are going to play tonight at the end of the day. They didn't play that much in the preseason that they got to play together and figure stuff out. While it is going to be the first game of the season, like you're saying, if the game's going to remain close, we're going to need him to be aggressive and contributing, obviously. But even if not, man, 10 points, 10 points, 2 threes and 2 layups. That's not asking for much out of Caleb Martin. I think he can give that to you on a night where he knows the team is without Joel, the team is without PG.
And why that is so key is in discovering this ladder play, the higher the volume, I know, the higher the volume, but we're talking when Caleb Martin doesn't hit this number, he only takes about 4 shots a game. When Caleb Martin hits this number, he's anywhere from 10+ shots a game. And when you're if Joel Embiid and Paul George were playing tonight, or one of them were playing tonight, I'd say, I don't know. You're
probably
missing
stay away from it. Yeah.
You're not going to win or be competitive if Maxey's taking 33 shots and Kelly's taking 22 shots tonight. That's not going to be the recipe.
Yeah.
So you are going to need a guy like Caleb Martin who has that experience, can put the ball on the floor, can hit from deep. You are going to need him to shoot the ball 10, 11 times tonight, right around there. And when he does that, He
Who's
hits the
gonna
number.
be who's gonna take the third most shots on the
Yeah.
team? Like, who would you pick? You know what I
No,
mean?
I agree.
Maxey?
I mean, unless Drummond is
Oubre?
just at the rim,
Right,
dunk, layup,
right.
put back, dunk, layup, put back, and that
That's
attributes to
crazy, but yeah.
12 attempts. That's it. And I don't think that's going to be the case. So I agree, man. Like without them, no. Like obviously, there's no Reggie Jackson props. We have no idea what he's going to be like.
Yeah.
Eric Gordon's not going to be putting the ball on the floor, hunting to get in the lane. Lowry's not doing that at this point of his career. McCain, if he even plays, I highly doubt is going to be taking the reins and going right at defenders and trying to take the game over in his limited action. So I think Caleb Martin is that difference-making guy today. And honestly, man, I know that he knows it's not a demotion. I'm sure that him and Nick, and with the way that Nick spoke publicly about him, I'm sure that he knows that. But
still got that chip.
He's the one coming off the bench out of everybody. Let's go make the most of my time. Let's go be that spark and that energy immediately. We know that's on the defensive side of things for him as well, but I think that starts in the offensive side too, man. So the game, 7:30, it's supposed to. Nationally televised game. It's an opener. I'll say around 7:40 it'll probably tip off, which is always annoying, but whatever. With that said, man, let's get into our standout stars and our game predictions. What do you got for me tonight, Scotty?
Yeah, obviously, I put laugh out loud on my page, like Tyrese Maxey, like, yeah. I went with Oubre, though. Martin, I obviously like him to step up tonight as well. There's going to be a couple guys that we're looking for that's going to need to contribute, but Oubre is that number 2 guy for me tonight. He is that guy that's going to have to take the second most shots. He's going to have to be aggressive tonight. And I look for Oubre to get a 20-piece tonight. That's what I'm looking for. That's where I'm looking at who's going to be that next guy up behind Maxey tonight. And I'm calling on Oubre to do that. We're going to need contributions from elsewhere. Even if Oubre gets you 20, that's not the end of the script, right? We need it. We need more from elsewhere. But I do like Oubre. Be aggressive, get to the free throw line, maybe hit 1 or 2 threes tonight, and get up over that 18, 20-point-ish mark. So I'll go with Oubre just for, to be different.
Right. Because Tyrese, especially when the big fellas come back, Tyrese, it doesn't really drop down our list, but it's reasonable to say that we do agree, Martian. I mean, he might have to go 42 tonight. He might go for 45, 50 tonight. That's not the point. I do like the Kelly Oubre Jr. pick. My standout star. I was thinking about this for the last couple of minutes before I asked you. I'm going to ride with our prop bet, and I'm going to ride with Caleb Martin being that difference-making two-way guy, especially, man, I'm assuming he's probably had a little bit of a workload against him in the past. He's probably going to see a little bit of action guarding Giannis today. Yeah. He's going to bring that spark plug off the bench. Hopefully he scores like we need him to. He takes the volume, and that'll be a difference-maker. I'll just to let you know who I think the other one, who I was leaning towards, it is Andre Drummond.
I thought so.
I think this is potential. Like you could see Andre Drummond go for 14 and 19 tonight, and really control the, because that goes with our keys. Like you have to control the glass against this team, and get out in transition, and that's where it starts. Bang, board, kick out, run, and he's going to be the guy eating up a lot of those rebounds. So Andre Drummond can be a difference maker in this one, especially because that's where you're thin, right? Like how many minutes is he going to need to play tonight and in the games without Joel? But I will go with Caleb Martin, just the two-way diverse guy that he is. And I think
all four of them. You need all four of them.
For sure.
Drum, Oubre, Martin, and Maxey, and more. We're going to need more than that. So I'm with you. And I do like both of those picks as well. I think Drummond is going to be set. He's got something to prove. And that's all of these guys, man. Like, Martin's got something to prove now. He's coming off the bench, right? You want to make me six man? I'll show you. Drummond, you say I can't start, right? I'm the backup. Well, I'm going to start tonight and show you. Same thing with Oubre. I'm the forgotten piece here. I came back too, right? Like I'm not a new signing, but I came back. I'm still a good piece to this team. There's a ton to prove out here tonight, and a ton of chemistry to build, a ton of good vibes to set. I do like your pick of Caleb Martin because you think about it. Who can get in the passing lanes, get a breakaway dunk, right? Get out in the fast break like we've been talking about. It is Caleb Martin on the defensive end. It's Kelly Oubre with his length. So it will be it'll be fun tonight to see what these guys can do if they can step up to the challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we will 100% see, man. But with that said, are the Sixers going to win tonight? I know when we do these streams, not only are they Sixers streams and we want the Sixers to win, but we kind of talk ourselves into it. I'm going to start off on, I'm going to turn a new leaf this year. I'm going to say the Sixers will not win tonight. I think they cover. I do think that line is weird. And if they cover, that means they are going to be right around time, in the final 2 minutes to win this ball game. I think they have a chance. I'm not saying like this is not like, oh, no Joel, no PG, no chance. No, they have a chance, and I want them to win. I'm not going to come on here and pick the Sixers W every single time we do a pregame show throughout this year. So I'll say the Sixers lose, Sixers cover. And I think we're talking about a lot of positives though on Friday morning.
Yeah, no, I actually completely agree. I think it's going to be a really close
man.
game.
They're going to win.
Next one, Martian.
Yeah.
No, man, it's like Dylan said, I don't want to be biased, man. I feel like I do come on Eagles pregame. I pick the Eagles every week. I am biased. Like, I pick the Sixers every week. I'm going to be different. And you know what I'm honestly hoping? I'm honestly hoping that like some bad karma comes back for me and we win the game because I pick them to lose. So yeah, I was thinking from the beginning of the show, plus 4.5. I do like them to cover the spread. I like them to compete hard. You'll be biased, Martian. You were the one dragging us down. You brought us here. You made us feel like we could be biased.
You put this negativity in my head, bro.
But a win tonight is covering the spread in my book, man. Playing them close and us getting to see these guys operating in a good manner. So I don't know. I guess I'm taking a consolation win already this season. It is weak, but it is what it is. The Bucks should win this game. They should win this game.
They should, but unfortunately,
and if they don't, I'll be
Marshy got my head now. So unfortunately, the Bucks aren't going to win this game. The Sixers role players and Tyrese Maxey are going to show you why the depth is different this year, why they can help carry Joel Embiid and Paul George to the postseason and give them the load management that they need.
Hell yeah.
And they are going to go win a game tonight against Giannis and Dame. And if they do, Trinidad, I better see your ass Friday, bro, because you'll see us Friday.
Yeah.
Win or lose by 20, lose by 1, we're going to be there.
Yeah, drop in on Turf Talk tomorrow. We can chat with you then even.
However, the Sixers win shorthanded. Better see you. Maxey points is never a bad play, by the way.
I took the Maxey over in points and assists, 36.5. So got that at minus 108.
Timeout. See, like, I try to compliment you. What did Brunson score last night?
Let's check it. Let's check the tape.
He scored 22.
22.
So now Maxey needs to score 30. Shorthanded, mind you. He's shorthanded. Brunson had all the help he needed. He has to score 30 to be in the same breath. All right. And we better not lose shorthanded by more than 11 against the Bucks, but they can get their teeth kicked in fully healthy against the Celtics, and it's crazy. All right, let's get on out of here. It's after 7. Let's go relax a little bit before the game starts.
Cash some tickets,
Martian,
man.
Go take a shot, smoke a bowl, smoke a blue, whatever you got to do.
I'm going to
relax yourself out. I'm going to go grab a beer. And
yes, sir.
Let's go watch the Sixers' first game of the season, guys. We will be back on Turf Talk tomorrow night. We'll be live on Faithful Fanatics Friday morning, hopefully talking it win. And then we have 2 Sixers games over the weekend to get into as well. For myself, for Scotty, for DSM, make sure you do yourself a favor. There's over 50 of you guys in the watching right now. Don't know if you're watching on YouTube, Twitter. If you're watching on Twitter, why aren't you watching on YouTube? Make sure to do yourself a favor, do us a favor. Head on over, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Sir. Do whatever you got to do to share it out with your friends, family, and other Philadelphia fans or football fans if you're following around for Turf Talk.
New slogan, Dylan.
Scotty, DSM. We're
new
made
slogan.
For this, brother.
Made for this.
Made for this.
Made for this.
Can't say I love it, but it made the screen. So if you're wondering what the fuck hashtag made for this is, it's the Sixers official hashtag on social media for the season. So that's why it's on the screen. Hashtag not like us. we'll be back on Friday
like
with
that
you guys
too.
right here on the Philadelphia YouTube page. Peace out.
Peace, everybody.